Most of you are watching this video or listening to this podcast episode already knowing about the tools out there available for your nervous system regulation. We know about retraining the brain through coaching and therapy. We know about meditation, breathwork, somatic exercises like the one I'll lead you through later in the episode, psychiatric and psychedelic medicines, polyvagal theory practices, and so much more. But here's the truth. I have tried the majority of these things as well, and I spent years of trying so hard and doing all of the things in order to see progress in my anxiety levels, depression cycles, and just get out of survival mode and stop riding the roller coaster of emotions every day. But it was always a yo-yo for me. Whatever I tried would work for a minute or a day or a season, and then I'd rebound right back to where I started. If you're watching this video and nodding along with me, then I can almost guarantee there is one thing you are missing. Once I figured this out, everything changed for me. So let's get right to it. I can almost guarantee that you are trying to regulate while fighting your current state. When we try to regulate our nervous systems with the energy of fix me, make this stop, these feelings just need to go away, then your body and nervous system sense it. They feel like, oh, something is wrong here and I need to stay on alert. We each possess highly intelligent internal monitoring systems, and our sympathetic nervous system is built to pick up on the subtlest clues that something is amiss. The sound of a snap of a branch that tells our survival instinct, look out for a predator. The faint whiff of smoke that alerts us in our sleep to wake up to a fire. The feeling we get when something's off and we go check on our kids who've gotten into something they shouldn't. All of these are biologically programmed for us to pick up on the smallest cues to signal to our brains and our bodies to wake up and be ready for danger. So if we use that same system against itself, to self-scan, to assess that a feeling that we're having is a problem, to remain vigilant against anxiety, it's like fighting fire with fire or anxiety with anxiety. Treating our nervous system like a problem to be fixed is only going to exacerbate the experience of anxiety or activation. We cannot outsmart our nervous systems and try to use tools, tips, and tactics to get out of the state we're in. If the approach that we're using carries urgency or a pushing energy from an intense desire to make whatever we're feeling go away. So using these tools turns into another way to try to control and manage something that you perceive to be a threat or a problem, versus actually giving yourself support and self-care in those moments. You might even be like me. I used to create those elaborate self-care morning routines in order to try to control or fix my state of being every day. If you've ever heard of Miracle Morning, then you know it was a craze that swept the personal development world, all about the 6 steps to set your day up for success. And nothing against a method itself, but just like any tool, you can use a hammer to hit a nail or to smash your finger. How you utilize that tool is all about your intention, experience, and capability with wielding that tool. And a lot of fingers got smashed in the earnest attempt to improve our nervous systems by setting up our mornings with mindfulness, when in actuality, many people were activating their own nervous systems by trying to control their feelings, their bodies, and their minds every day. We assumed that if we could just do the right routine, the right way, in the right order, for the right amount of time, then maybe I won't have anxiety today. Maybe I'll be able to focus better today. Maybe I'll have more energy, or maybe I'll feel more even amongst the turbulence of the day. But this desire to do things the right way meant that there was pressure for it to have the outcome that we wanted, and therefore resistance to it not working. Resistance to whatever I was feeling, resistance to the possibility that this too wouldn't fix me. I can actively remember a tearful confession to my husband years ago when I was completely convinced that I was broken and there just had to be something wrong with me because the morning routine he did just did not work for me at all. And I timed everything down to the minute, the exact same as his. And he was feeling energized by it, and I was feeling like I needed a nap by the end. That was because I wasn't using these morning activities as a support to myself. I was using them like a fire extinguisher. Like, get rid of this problem, get rid of this feeling, so I can have a productive and happy day, gosh darn it. And if I didn't, I'd get more frustrated and more activated by the idea that there really is something deeply wrong with me that I needed to dig up and get out of me in order for me to be okay. Your body is never going to regulate because you choose the right tool. It only regulates once it starts to feel safe. And using these tools to escape a feeling or resist an outcome or what you perceive as a problem, it signals to your body that you are not safe. Just like the analogy of a hammer helping us or hurting us, healing or regulating is never going to come from tools. It's going to come from cultivating safety within our bodies first, and the tools reinforce that. Tools can help and even create a state shift for a short period of time, but at the root, they cannot fix the problem of a dysregulated nervous system. That experience of there's a problem or something's wrong with me or I need this feeling to stop immediately, in and of itself is the source of the dysregulation, and anything done on top of that is just a superficial or temporary change. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do we cultivate safety? What do we do? A couple things. And the first one might piss you off a little, like it did for me. Okay, are you ready for it? Do less. What do I mean by that? There was a time where I would wake up and the first thing I would look at was my Whoop app to see my sleep score, my readiness level for the day. I would use that information to determine what kind of workout I should do. And then the spiral of thoughts would take over on what other sorts of activities or things I needed to do in order to set myself up for success today so that I could start my day right. I would do morning pages or meditate or go straight to the gym fasted and starving, or. All to fix whatever I perceive to be wrong, disguised and veiled in my words as self-care or doing what I need for the day. But actually, it was only reinforcing the dysregulation that I would operate on top of the rest of that day, because inevitably, doing all of that, with all of this attachment to what sort of state I wanted to be in by the end of it, or pressure to be on by the end of it, or resistance to however I woke up feeling that day, didn't regulate me. It created more pressure, more anxiety, more urgency to control, which deepened the state that I was in. There's a saying, what you resist persists. So at the root of doing less is dropping the resistance. One of the reasons these tools aren't working for us is because we have not accepted where we are. Your nervous system is never going to shift as long as you continue resisting what's true for you. Whether that's emotionally, professionally, personally, spiritually, on whatever level it presents for you. You have to stop fighting the state that you're in and expecting it to be different than it is, better than it is. And this is not something that's once and done. Anyone watching this video clearly carries resistance for where they are because you are also a seeker and a doer and someone trying to exercise your agency in life to achieve an exceptional life, whatever that means to you. I've known about this for years, and still my nervous system has felt hijacked since giving birth to my second child, leading to anxiety and insomnia and hypervigilance and intense emotional escalations. And still, I thought I could regulate my way out of those feelings, that lack of safety in my body. I did the breathing exercises I'll show you later on. I implemented routines. I did the things I was supposed to do to regulate, and nothing worked, which is exactly why I wanted to make this episode for you. Because I remembered that tools are only tools, and they only work when used properly. And when it comes to getting to the root of anything, if you feel like you should be doing more to fix or overcome what you're struggling with, that is exactly the time you probably need to do way less and slow everything down. And once I did exactly that, slowed way down, remembered why my body was experiencing this, and just attuned to my present reality, I was able to accept the feelings I was having. I accepted the panic or the restless nights or the brain fog or the overstimulation, and acknowledged that my body was working through this and I was here to support it in doing so. So if you are trying to heal, or if you're wanting to regulate your nervous system, you have to first put down the resistance to what is. You have to let go of the fight. And once you accept where you are now, what you need to do next will become clear to you. You can let go of the throwing spaghetti at a wall desperation to change what you're going through or wish it was different, and instead drop into acceptance that this is where you are right now. And then you won't need to guess or try or experiment to find what works. because whatever you do from that state will improve how you feel because you're not resisting it. You've shifted away from fixing and are now actually supporting yourself. It's only when you resist where you are and try to tool and tip your way out of it that you're strengthening that loop and lengthening the time that you spend there. Doing too much, too fast from fear is what prolongs our undesirable state, which is the opposite of what we actually want. Accepting where you are, doing less, being with where you are, that slowing down is actually going to speed up your healing process and allow you to regulate and access your peace and sense of safety again. I hope you're hearing that it has so little to do with the what of what you're doing and everything to do with the why of what you're doing. Are you taking that breath to stop feeling overstimulated? Or are you taking that breath to accept, I am overstimulated? Are you moving your body to pass this anxiety through faster? Or are you moving your body because when you slowed down, you noticed you couldn't sit still and you had all that extra energy to burn? Meeting our needs and finding that sense of safety in ourselves is so much more about a deep sense of presence with ourselves than it is about the right routine, the right tool, the right therapy or coach. For me, that looked like slowing way the F down, putting down the pressure to be productive or feel or not feel any certain type of way. I stopped wearing my Whoop or using data to tell me what my body needs. I pared my morning routine way down to just make my bed and open my window shades when I wake up, and then rebuilt habits as they became desirable to me. I baked cookies, I drank tea, I dropped the where's my life going and just focused on living. I closed my eyes with the sun on my face. I stopped scrolling social media and instead let myself watch more YouTube. I just let my life unfold naturally and stopped forcing and pushing and doing and controlling. And my nervous system heard me. There's nothing wrong with me. I let myself accept the version of myself that was struggling, that didn't have it all figured out, that felt these feelings. And I stopped making her wrong or shaming her for not being somewhere or someone else, or making her do more to validate some other judgmental part of me. And then my body recalibrated. It felt safe, the fog cleared, and I felt my nervous system shift. So if you're taking nothing else away, know this. You are absolutely okay exactly where you are. You will heal and you will feel safe again. Do less with more presence. Focus on shifting the energy you're using rather than the tool you're using. And your nervous system will start to regulate as soon as you stop. Save this video for next time your brain thinks it's wrestling a tiger. And I'll be right here when you need it. And with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of the Contentment Creator Podcast, where we covered regulating our nervous systems and how that impacts our personal healing, our businesses, and our marriage. Whether you caught the whole episode or one of our segments, either way, thank you for making it all the way to the end. Join me in my mission to turn a world full of content creators into a world of contentment creators.